Hello guys, welcome to another video. Now I wanted to do a bit of a follow-up on a video that I made about a week ago on the Hand of Phrecia, which is a new pair of unique gloves in 3.24. If you missed that video, you can check it out here. However, the interaction with these gloves is essentially that they'll allow you to use generosity support to provide a huge aura effect boost to linked auras, while the aura will still affect you because the gloves have a modifier which states that auras only affect you and linked targets, and this modifier currently overrides the one on generosity which states that supported auras do not affect you. This is probably a bug, but it hasn't been fixed yet, including patch 3.24.1 a few days back, which was quite a big patch, and it had a bunch of bug fixes. But as I mentioned in that previous video, it will most likely be fixed if and when these gloves go core in 3.25. So in that video, I briefly touched on the use of the Hand of Phrecia in combination with Victario's influence. This unique body armor is very common, and it's typically used in builds to either support other players via a bunch of auras, or empower the player's minions. It grants a huge chunk of reservation efficiency to socketed gems, and supports those gems with level 30 generosity support. A level 30 generosity grants 49% increased aura effect to supported skills. Now, I did discuss in that video how I thought that the use of this body armor with the Hand of Phrecia is pretty niche and not all that useful in the majority of cases, and I still have that opinion because I think that for the most part this setup is very limiting in terms of build scope. After all, you're using your body armor slot full of auras, so you're going to need to find another place for your main damage link, whether that be in a two-handed weapon setup for your main 6-link, or a pseudo 6-link helmet. It makes things a bit awkward right off the bat. And there's also the issue of gem socket pressure there as well, because as you can imagine, if you're using at least 6 of your gem sockets for reserved auras alone, not to mention the potential use of a Divine Blessing link as well, you're going to struggle a bit to fit everything in. However, with all of that said, I do believe that this setup can be effective. You just need to find the right avenue to go down to make the best use of this combination of mechanics. So in this video, I wanted to show the potential of these two unique items together on a champion. The champion ascendancy has the inspirational notable, which grants 30% increased aura effect, and another 5% there on the small node as well. And it also makes banner skills have no reservation, which is quite important with how many reservation skills you're going to want to fit in with a setup like this. This passive skill tree has a total of 44 points spent. It's pathing straight out of the duelist start area down to the champion of the cause wheel down here, grabbing all of the reservation efficiency and aura effect on that wheel, and also taking the 10% aura effect mastery as well. Then, the tree paths up into the Scion start area, grabs the mana reservation efficiency mastery here for 3 points, and then through the evasion wheel here, going into the Ranger start area for the charisma wheel, and also taking the mastery there for 8% increased damage per aura affecting you. That mastery is going to provide a huge amount of value for 1 point spent in this type of build. And then the tree also paths up the side of the Scion start area to grab the leadership wheel there too, for even more mana reservation efficiency and aura effect. So that's a base tree with 44 points spent. It also has 2 open dual sockets included in those 44 points. Now in the config I have some added resistances here to simulate resistances gained from gear, because this loadout only has the Victario's Influence body armor and the Hand of Phrecia gloves equipped right now. On the Victario's Influence body armor, I've had to edit the terminology on here because PoB doesn't know about the generosity interaction. So instead of socketed gems being supported by level 30 generosity, we have socketed gems have 49% increased effect of non-curse auras from your skills. And this simulates those socketed gems being supported by level 30 generosity while also using the Hand of Phrecia. So this current setup is using Grace, Determination, Triple Purity and Defiance banner. And you can already see that just with the scaling on this small passive tree, we're already at 42k evasion, 30k armor and 84% maximum elemental resistances. This build has all of its mana reserved, but this is without using a helmet or any dual sockets, so you can easily free up more reservation efficiency to be able to pay skill costs with mana, like this example helmet here which has some mana reservation efficiency from the lowest tier Eater implicit. This will provide enough mana for skill usage. Or alternatively, you could use the Devouring Diadem to gain EB for skill costs, and gain access to a Divine Blessing aura as well, which is going to be very powerful considering all of the aura effect. Or you could even path up to Eldritch Battery if you wanted to and if it suited your build idea. That would also give you access to the Influence wheel up there, which has a ton of aura effects, but those are just potential options you could go for. So in this setup, these are all level 20 gems, improved to 21 with the Victario's Influence modifier, which grants +1 to socketed aura gem levels. You could of course corrupt all of these gems to be level 21, which would bring their total gem levels to 22. However, you really want the Purity auras to be level 23, because they have a very important breakpoint where the maximum resistance gained goes from +4% to +5%. This extra 1% may seem trivial, but in an aura stacking build, it's very important because the aura effect breakpoint for gained additional maximum resistance from these auras goes from 25% to 20%. So for every 20% increased aura effect you have at gem level 23 or higher, you'll gain an extra 1% maximum resistance. The cool thing about Victario's Influence though is that it's so common that you can just purchase these cheaply or find enough of them in solo self-found to be able to corrupt them with Val Orbs for a corrupted implicit. You're looking for +2 to the level of socketed aura gems or +2 to the level of socketed AoE gems. You could fix the sockets after hitting the corruption if you wanted to using Tainted Jeweler's Orbs and Tainted Chromatic Orbs. You can of course just buy these in Trade League 2 already corrupted. As of making this video, in Softcore Trade League, the single corruptions with +2 to aura or +2 to AoE are going for 5 chaos, whilst a double corrupted Victario's Influence with both modifiers is around 4 or 5 divine orbs. So if you have a corrupted Victario's Influence with either of those implicits, not both of them, just one, you don't even need to have level 21 gems at that point, because you're already gaining +1 from the body armor itself. So let's set those gems to 20 again, and switch to the corrupted Victario's Influence. So all of our aura gems are now level 23, and you can see that the evasion and armor has increased, but more importantly, our maximum resistances are now at 86%, which is crazy. Now obviously, this is just an example. Where you go from here could be in many different directions. You could use the classic Champion's Best Friend belt, Perseverance, to make use of the armor and evasion. You could instead choose to spec into Iron Reflexes on the tree and go for more of an armor stacking setup, but you're unlikely to be able to outscale a breach body armor for that type of build. If you didn't want to use the triple Purity aura setup, you could instead go for a single Purity and drop the other two, and then make use of Purity of Elements for the elemental ailment immunity that it provides, and use Melding of the Flesh to gain all maximum elemental resistances based on a single Purity element that you chose to go with. That may be a better option, which could free up reservation for a big damage aura. Anyway, I just wanted to make this as a bit of a follow-up for the Hand of Phrecia video. It's an interesting setup, quite niche but potentially very powerful. If you're making use of this combination of unique items, I'd love to hear what build you're playing, do let me know. And thank you to my patrons for your support, it's massively appreciated. If you'd like to support my channel and gain some perks, head over to the Patreon that I've set up. All of the information can be found there, the link is in the description below. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.